So I think you can still go for the Rakan. The other option is to go for something like the Jinx Lulu, if you want to, or take Lulu plus something for these matchups. Because you've already got decent engage, yeah, and you can get a lot of value there. So that is also another way that you could take this.
Well, Dagda, they're hovering over it right now, and it's going to be locked in. Okay, the question is, will we see a hyper carry paired alongside in the bot side of the map? You know, Jack Spectre is desperate to see a return of Twitch to the pro play.
I was going to say, Vedi, maybe that's why the counter-Gady carry stays in tow. Now, they're thinking about what they can do for mid-pairing here on the side of FNATIC.
I don't love Ari into Lulu.
Yeah, that's very true, actually.
She is very pick-orientated, and I mean, if you want to go back in the days of Faker, great for catching the Lulu out and isolating her, but because of the amount of utility that Lulu can provide, it's not always the easiest way to catch people off.
Okay, so they take away the Jinx. I was actually going to say, I think Hansama might opt in towards the Sivir here, because you've actually got the ability to keep safe in case the public execution comes out, any sort of dive comes your direction, you're going to be fine. But with the Jinx, it makes it a little bit more scary to opt in towards that.
Does it come back to Vedius's point? How's Hansama's Twitch? I like that you put out the Sivir as well, Dagda. We've got a couple of hyper carry options here, especially with these here already. What's it going to be?
They could MF as well.
They could. Sivir
again, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, because a lot of the Maokai wants to run at you, Warwick wants to run at you.
Warwick again gives G2 that win. We haven't had a game 3 yet. We're hoping that changes here today in some shape or form. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift for G2 FNATIC, the El Clasico of your modern-day League of Legends.
Question is, are we going to get standard laning? I imagine G2 will be quite eager for it. Playing Sivir and Lulu into a Jinx Ral, I feel like it's just an easy pushing bot lane 2v2. And Warwick, I mean, Warwick just loves to fight.
Yep.
Warwick would happily go for the 1v1.
Yeah, I'm curious, because
we want blood.
I think Warwick does well in the lane swap, again, because of his healing.
Yep.
And it's really hard to dive him with barrier. So I think in that sort of scenario, he's going to be fine.
True.
But Mesa is kind of okay, and even just getting these early plates on towards Jinx isn't the end of the world. So I can see a world where FNATIC do actually opt in towards the lane swap, and I think G2 are trying to nearly predict it, because you can see where Hansama is. They're hoping that, okay, maybe they go top. They were questioning, but it looks like they're just going to commit, and with no deep wards to really spot out, it's kind of a 50-50 as to who's going where.
Did you see as well, Broken Blade started with the lens. Looks like the lens top, probably on the way to lane. And now has gone back for a ward, so kind of spotting out if there was any vision for the lane swap. As you said, these 2v2s are going to happen. Normal lanes here as well, so we get to see the Warwick run up against Oscar. Lethal tempo as a reminder as well. Extended trades especially as that target starts getting low. Now, exciting to see.
For anyone that's ever played against Warwick, you know that in lane he is deceptively strong.
Oh, I hate
the
it.
barrier provides just enough shielding that once you get that Q back up on the Warwick and you get that heal, all of a sudden the fight is turned around as Mickey goes for a bit of a trade. Jinx, not the strongest level 180 carry in the game, but it's going to chip away at Lebrov's HP bar.
But look at where Razork is. It's a 3-camp into bot situation, so even if Mickey isn't able to get as much damage as you'd like to, it's still giving a lot of control on this bottom side. So nicely done there. You can see Hansam and Lebrov kind of curious as to whether something was up. But level 3 now hit. Can Razork get a gank off?
Where the wave is, Mickey might not even care in that fact as well. He's taking poke damage. He crashes down. Ignite is onto Lebrov's face. Hansama is just going to look for the kill while Razork's in. But Lebrov sidesteps him. Under turret flashes away. A stone throw, not caring. Hansama even survived. How did G2's bot lane get out of that?
Well, they had to expend a lot of summoner spells. Nice early play from Razork. Dagda was highlighting earlier the early gank pathing from Razork. I don't think he's really going to lose much on the top side as a result either. Quick reset into his top side camps. An advantage gained for FNATIC's bot lane 2v2.
Yeah, you can see you got a reset for Hansam and Lebrov. The fact Lebrov played it very well kind of helped out, though. Did end up having to burn flash and heal, but waited for that full E duration on Razork before he actually went. But
wait, fears out.
Yeah.
Gonna walk away. Remember, the healing when he's that low, it's massive. He's already back above Oscar in his health bar. Jaws of the Beast, and trading gets better. Oscar does not want a long trade with this doggy.
No, and you still got Maokai on this top side as well. There's no flash on Razork if it ends up being some sort of 2v2 play. So I think Razork, you can already see, going to be drawn towards Scuttle, but that might give Skumon a bit of an opportunity to get in behind him and look for that play on Oscar in it.
Pushing ever so slightly. Razork here now, just hit level 4 off the scuttle as well. Broken Blade walking down, but Razork sees him, backs away, and will just go to his grop.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how aggressive Broken Blade and Skewmon wanted to go. You can see if you click on Razork, it's 24 camps, right? You get 4 CS per camp, so they should have known that something on his top side wasn't up. So I wasn't sure if they wanted to play hyper aggressive to steal away a camp there, but instead just going to back away. They know that Oscarin has the TP, so they don't want to overforce. But now matched as Broken Blade will find his lane opponent back in there.
Looks like Razork is going to get the double crab. Mickey threatening an engage with the hands, spacing him quite well. Here comes Razork once more.
Well, Mickey's already dead before the play starts off, though. Flashes the Boomerang Blade. Lebrov now going to find Razork yet again. He can't sidestep that one. Great shove against the wall. Kill over to Upset. In the end, Lebrov actually got first blood against Mickey, but it's Upset who succeeds with his own kill.
Best case scenario there for Lebrov without any summoner spells and then being that deep. They should have respected the possibility of a Razork gank a little bit more. Cap's going to get charmed up.
Great max range charm. Caps gets electrocuted, and new electrocute is very devastating. Caps just walks back to the lane.
Yeah, it's not going to matter too much on the trade in mid. Humanoid going to reset. Caps will do the same as he gets this wave pushed in, but I think now the focus is going to be from both sides on towards the bottom half of the map, because if Upset is able to continue rolling like this, he will take over in fights. There isn't a huge amount of backline threat. Like, you're hoping Broken Blade gets a flank, or maybe Caps can look for some sort of big ultimate, but realistically, Upset should be fairly safe in these fights, so you need to shut him down if you're G2.
Of course, when you say the bot side of the map, what you mean is
the top side of the map.
Right? Yeah. And already they've swapped towards these grubs, spawning in about 30 seconds. Could be an opportunity for G2 to grab an early dragon, but given Skewmon's positioning on the top side of the map, I'm expecting a contest around these grubs. No TPs available for either top lane. Of course, Broken Blade not running it himself, but Skarner, really nice pathing overall. Cleared out those bot camps, made the bot gank happen, pathed up towards Tom, has both the Gromp and the Wolves ready in time for the grub spawn, and everything panning out nicely for Razork. Upset hovering in the river for now. Will be spotted on that ward as Mickey helps get control over the mid wave, and Upset's going to start this objective off.
Skewmon's here, no level 6 available. Razork, the same can be said. And they'll spot him out on a ward as first grub's going to be taken, no doubt. Next one is the biggest question as Upset gets his little reset and attack speed. Now the Humanoid's here, second one too. G2 are walking down, but they're walking down late, and FNATIC now have Humanoid with an ultimate available. Lebrov's up against the wall, an easy charm and an easy kill. A good punish from FNATIC.
G2 never should have contested. You can see where Azir is on the map. Caps was never going to make it. It was always going to be the 3v4. And Mickey, Hex flashing over the wall, sets it up perfectly.
It's important to remember that matching the swap doesn't necessarily mean that you're looking to contest. It's more so that you really don't want Broken Blade to find himself in a 2 versus 1 with the risk of him potentially being dived as well. So G2 just being spectators there was honestly a big mistake. Oscar's fishing for a potential kill. That barrier, remember.
Oh, the jaws though. As you said, Vedius, good call on the barrier. I'm also going to mention that his health bar right now is at 25%.
It's deceptive, that HP.
He Qs once, he's down to half HP. Caps ultis in once, and Humanoid flashes away, and that's the other core of it, is, as you said, the Lulu great against this mid, but Caps is dead. In the meanwhile, Razork gets an impale and drags Lebrov back on this Lulu. He's not having a fun time with the Scorpion King in his face. Needs Skewmon to zone, and at least he does, because otherwise Lebrov was there dead too.
Yeah, Skewmon able to pick up the kill on the outro. Looked a little funky because Humanoid did get the healing off the passive just as he went under the tower, but still, you get both junglers there to help out their respective sides, and both mid laners will fall and sue.
Humanoid finds himself in a great position overall, though. A healthy gold lead in the mid lane. Lost Chapter already secured with the upgraded boots. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, Broken Blade did go for a bit of an all-in onto Oscar, but the appearance of Mickey dissuaded him, forced him back to base, and now look at these plates that this bot lane duo from FNATIC is going to be able to secure. So even though the gold lead isn't significant, small advantages are being gained for FNATIC across mid and bot.
And I think that's the big one, is that it's the numbers G2 are investing to not get anything out of it. Lebrov went mid to make the play. 3v2 FNATIC trade even, which opens up Mickey then to force Hansama back so they get the play on bot side. It's the same when you look at the Rift Herald. They didn't have the Azir there, but G2 still tried to contest, so FNATIC get the advantage. It's these little mistakes from G2, or else, you know, hoping for more to come out of the play and they're not getting it, that are causing issues for them in this game.
Again, we've had criticisms for G2 in their early games during the regular season. They might have good early game stats, but a winning team has good stats overall, right? So again, as we come back to reality, I think FNATIC, again, showcasing a little bit of what we saw in the last game is, I'm just more interested in top. Let's go again. Set it up, that Primal Howl, not going to get the fear. The minions feel it though, and Oscarina might have been full HP, but again, deceptive here as FNATIC start the Dragon bot, the meanwhile.
I actually thought that was the ultimate for Broken Blade.
Yes, show us top. Show us top. More. Where's the duress? There it is. Okay, lethal tempo. Another bite. Oscarina running. Under turret, he'll be safe, but the longer the trades go, the more Broken Blade sinks in his fangs.
Oscarina can TP back to this bot side though. Broken Blade just going to clear out the wave, so you can see Caps considering hovering up, but Razork is there to cover as well. So in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's a chunk out of Oscarina, but he's fine. He's going to be back here, and Public Execution is up momentarily. So I think Broken Blade going to have to reset as well.
Broken Blade not running TP, it's important that he makes these plays happen though.
Yep.
Forcing your opposition to invest that TP in a suboptimal position is great for you. Because now, look, the Grubs are spawning in about a minute's time, right? They want to make these swaps happen. So it's all about being set up, and overall, like the trade from Broken Blade, he is actually going to path back towards the top side of the map, though. I was kind of expecting the swap to come through from G2's bot lane after catching that wave.
Yeah, I think do you feel strong enough as FNATIC to answer for the play, right? Because I think G2 are actually hitting quite a lot of the strides right now. Skimon hit 6. Oh, hang on.
TP is good. Hans Summer with the spell shield, though, won't stop the Magnet Storm. In the end, the traps are now down, and Humanoid runs in. This is an easy kill. It looks like Upset will get it as well. Has to flash as the barrier for Hans Summer keeps him alive, but the zap then flashing will keep him alive too. Labrov zones off, and Humanoid went the other way. He thought that was a secured kill for Upset.
But this is what I was saying. I think FNATIC didn't want to make the play towards Voidgrubs. They already have their 3. Let's go for more plates on towards the Jinx on the bottom side. But Jinx actually resetting, which I am kind of surprised. I thought they'd keep her here. Caps are looking for Humanoid, but not quite able to get the swoop and boop. But now Upset moving mid. I think you're still in position to contest if you want to. There's still a lot of G2 members on this bottom side.
Razork's coming up though. Primal Howl might work out, but Oscarina has backup this time around. Broken Blade's looking for the wave, but Razork has flashed away from the Public Execution. Won't stop this bonk that comes out of Razork. Infinite duress. Escape for Broken Blade secured.
Rocket, look at the rocket.
Oh.
That was just up in time for Broken Blade. He barely had that infinite dress up to close, or well, expand the distance in this case between himself and Razork, so they're able to get away. But now Broken Blade reset. You still got Oscarina available on that top side. This is going to be the grubs for FNATIC on the long play after everything is said and done.
Humanoid in a bit of danger here. That's why Mickey's forced to cover. The threat of a dive from Caps is very real. Humanoid has no ultimate available to him, so can't afford to treat Caps lightly. Overall, heavy investment on the bot side of the map from G2.
Okay. Well, Skimon's here to support. Mickey, I don't think he's dead here, even with the blast cone. Skimon's definitely not going to follow that, with Oscarina resetting as well. And the whole FNATIC moving to bot. Charm narrowly missing, I believe, with that skin. It's a faker skin, isn't it?
Yep.
That Charm is crazy.
A lot of people, as you say, from FNATIC on this bottom side, though, which is actually going to open up Broken Blade to get some pressure on top. A bit of an overcommitment, it feels like, from FNATIC on the bottom end to keep him safe. But now Oscarina going to be able to stop Caps from getting some of the plates that are there. And maybe Humanoid can actually got top side enough. You haven't completed the Tiamat for Broken Blade yet, so his push isn't that strong.
Upset and Hans Summer taking position up in the mid lane with Dragon spawning in about a minute and a half. Everyone is making their way towards mid right now. Side lanes were a bit of a question mark for us last game, Dagda. I imagine now with Ari and Azir making their way onto the Rift that we'll see a little bit more of an investment in those side lanes, but it's that mid game where Warwick becomes, well, I feel like harder to use just because you don't have that TP available to you. And if FNATIC want to play the 1-3-1, you're going to have to be very smart with how you play around.
I think it's just that Ambessa doesn't ever win. It feels like the 1v1 makes it very difficult. So oftentimes now that you have the team that completed for Broken Blade, he just gets to shove and then immediately run to where the objective is. Even the setup here, so Caps has his teleport, so he is furthest away from the incoming objective, which is that dragon in 50 seconds, but FNATIC want to make a play towards him first.
Yeah, but jungle's in the way. Skumon's now here. Another stack for the Heartsteel would be nice here for Razork, but Labrov zoning means that Razork has to pay attention and move back. That Dragon in 40 seconds couldn't come a little bit sooner as FNATIC looked to reset and use his timing to get back out on the map.
And one of the points we had was that, look, G2 are kind of over-indexing members or not indexing enough members to a lot of these plays, but this time around, G2 are actually doing a great job of just getting enough people in the place they need. Skewmond and Labrov is enough to dissuade the play on top, which opens up Hansama now to push in mid. They get not quite a play, but enough a bit of damage on towards the mid lane. And now you've got FNATIC, who are actually ones who are over-investing members onto sides of the map and not getting anything for it.
I will say, though, that overall, G2 should be pretty happy with the game state. They're scaling very nicely into the mid game, and remember that when we kind of look at their composition, I think that it's a very straightforward front-to-back style comp. We have so much range and team fight damage just simply due to the Azir and Sivir combination, with Lulu providing extra peel. I think as long as G2 maintain this neutral state and don't concede too much in the early game, they're pretty happy with how things are progressing.
Intel complete onto about 80 carries, and the boots now as well for upset are pretty nice for an upcoming potential fight. But again, I just don't know if FNATIC are quite strong enough. This heavily relies on plays from Humanoid and Razork to kick things off.
Public Execution would start it off, or Mickey could lock down and enable that. Tries to bait out the Flash Shattering Strike, but FNATIC, now as they move into River, are slowly getting poked out. Saplings, Labrov, Caps, it's all in. Humanoid has enough of it, and now he's all in. Perfect crash down as well. Mickey sets it up, and FNATIC, as they spike it down, have to deal with Broken Blade. He gets a double. Infinite Duress flies over, and he's got a scuttle. He's just autoing down, and Razork is going to lose this. The Jaws, even with the wall pushes. He knows what Scorpion smells like. So Razork running away. Dragon given to G2.
A heavy commitment to getting the kill onto Labrov. I think cost FNATIC a lot. Sure, they removed the support from the game, but the response from G2 was swift and decisive. They shut down that front line so quickly. Humanoid, he even overstayed his welcome. He had 2 charms left on his ultimate, and he didn't end up using them. Yeah,
this feels like it was meant to be for, well, I thought Hansama, but they end up going for Labrov, and then the immediate turnaround. Like, look at where Humanoid and Upset are in the rest of this fight. They're not really able to get much done, whereas the rest of FNATIC have very heavily committed, and this is where I was coming back to. The boomerang damage from Sivir is so much stronger in these fights. Playing into a choke point against Caps' soldiers here works out perfectly for them. This was a great setup for the AoE in a team fight that G2 have, and FNATIC gave it to them.
I should also apologize, as Humanoid's ult just ran out at the very end there, so he had no tools left to escape from Caps.
Thank you for apologizing for this.
But Oscar now in a lot of danger.
Is indeed. Skewmon here for the lockdown as well, and once those Jaws are out, once that Howler's down, even though Oscar flashes away, Skewmon is going to bop him back on in. However, I think it's safe to say that there might not be enough damage even with Stride Breaker there, so Oscar gets out.
Yeah, and this is kind of the difference between the Pantheon work versus the Maokai work. You just don't have a huge amount of damage coming from the jungler, and when you don't have the Infinite Duress, you just don't have the lockup to really seal the deal there. So Ambessa able to, whirl her chains out of there, but on the top side now, FNATIC will get the Rift Herald in response, and maybe looking for a little bit more of a push on the top side.
A slow tree running at you is a little less intimidating than a shirtless man with a spear. He's going to be able to walk away from that one. Objective secured for FNATIC. Gold largely remains even between the two teams as, again, I feel like on paper, G2 have this great teamfight composition playing around these neutral objectives, and we saw an example of that when there's no threat to Caps and Hansama. You highlighted it, Dagda. It's just there's so much freedom and damage that they're able to dish out, especially when you clump up in these narrow choke points. The FNATIC are gonna have to get creative with how they find picks and punish the carries.
Oh, well, that was one creation that Mickey couldn't actually act upon. Labrov is going to walk out, and that's Mickey down with Flash and Magnus.
You just wouldn't get it. It's modern art.
Sorry. Abstract, of course. It's just a dot in the middle of the canvas. You got to work out what it really means. And Razork, he's trying to zone out. Waddling away at the turret. But remember, there's no grubs for the Warwick. FNATIC have all 6s. Now another charge for the Herald. Mickey gets it off and will get out as well. Nature's Grass gets thrown down. G2, the follow-up just looks impossible here with Razork against the wall.
But they can move to mid. The wave is already there, and I think they can just get the mid lane turned off the back of it because G2 kind of over-index into pushing in that top side. So,
oh my God, I don't know. I never know with.
It's never worth it. It's just never worth it to find out. That's the answer.
Yeah. Oscar and chases up, the FNATIC's movement around the map. As you said, it's slick. They open up mid as well, or at least they're about to. Under turret, Mickey has been found out by Skumon, so maybe this was not the best call as Hansama gets a kill. Mickey a little bit deep again.
Yeah, Mickey's had some rough ones in this. It's some of the plays he's had are great. Last two have been a bit int, and a few others to boot, but still FNATIC at least will get another tower for themselves, and Best are going to TP to top to match Caps, so Caps can't get the answer on the other end. And again, kind of coming back to that TP being a little bit extra on FNATIC side.
FNATIC kind of feeling the pressure a little bit to try and make things happen on the map. Misplay in mid lane converted into a failed opportunity on the bot side of the map as Caps moves into the side lane threat that he's known for. We haven't talked about him really much at all this game, but notice level 13. He has a almost 30 CS lead over his lane counterpart. And one of the reasons why Caps is so feared on this Azir is because of how effectively he uses it in the split push. He is so good at playing around side lanes with this champion and knowing the right times to collapse with the rest of his team. He still has the TP available, but he is reaching that late game point incredibly quickly.
Oh, it's under turret. Broken Blade is just trying to find his mark, but he's going to get ganked by 3 members of FNATIC running for his life, but I think he knows he's not getting out. He's charged and he's dead. A shutdown given over to Oscar for the cost of the turret.
And 30 seconds until Dragon is up and available, so FNATIC can very quickly reset with Upset. He's just finished his rune and Hurricane, and FNATIC, they're already in position. Topside though.
Yeah, Caps, what's going on? He's just autoing down, waiting. Humanoid gets the ulti out just to escape. Caps holds onto his. Humanoid now doesn't have that available if this turns into a full-blown fight.
I mean, it's very likely to. Lebrov is around. Sivir pushes into mid-wave.
Flash away from the Impale. That's Lebrov getting out of dodge. Now the poke for Lebrov. It's not going to do much against Scorpion. Is that TP behind enemy lines? It's Humanoid, but again, without ult. He comes in with a fresh item as top lane turret's going to die, but in the corner of our screen, we see this fight brewing instead. A good charge into the wall as Oscar gets turned into a polymorph. A shutdown already built up by Caps, and G2 have won this fight. Now they're sending FNATIC out of this same fight. Oscar has to charge his fleet. Broken Blade comes in and bites him down, and FNATIC, again, not having Humanoid in hurts, but G2 quick to the pounce, have just destroyed this game wide open. Infinite Dress over the wall as well. And Mickey
he's playing with his food.
Going to kill him eventually. An ace for G2.
I mean, Caps' flank was monstrous in that fight, and G2 are quickly running away with this game. The scaling is coming online faster than FNATIC can handle it, but Upset just gets eviscerated right from the get-go.
I'm really glad that Season 25 brought some new changes where I don't have to talk about Baron throws. I get to talk about Anakin throws with FNATIC from now on. Because this is the same. But it's as you say, like, this is on vision. You see the Azir fly straight over the pit. And instead of FNATIC trying to turn back, they immediately go on towards the forward fight. But Upset is just not in position, and we talked about how crucial it was to keep Upset safe, to not let people like Caps and Broken Blade get access to him on the back line, and that's completely abandoned. That's your DPS gone with an ultless Ari. You just can't carry the fights.
I feel like in 2 fights now, we've just seen no threat onto Hansama or Caps.
Yeah.
They've just been completely
They are the threats.
And I mean, that's the thing. They're the ones diving onto the back line, and yeah, Atakan just shredding through Upset's resistances made it so much easier. Now look at the level difference. 2 levels up. I mean, Humanoid about to take over to level 13. Upset. How much danger is he in here? Caps as a target.
He's looking for him again. Upset with no flash available. Caps holds onto his, but you know, this game been a little bit of a disappointment because we've seen FNATIC really try and pick these angles, but a couple of mistakes, and now around Atakan, G2 are running away with the game. You can see that little mountain there is FNATIC showing us signs of life and what could have possibly been a game 3, but right now, that's out of the back of my mind. 5,000 gold lead, a nature's grasp on this inhibitor turret, but there's no minion wave. I guess just to zone off the potential of an engage, as G2 are going to walk away with all the gold they could spend.
You know, some things change and others stay the same.
Stay the same.
And FNATIC.
Ooh. Caps in. Humanoid dead, and he gets an ult or flash.
I mean, Caps is
some
still
things change.
Yeah, Caps, he's still the same.
Impale's going to be used. Broken Blade's ulti just got interrupted. He flashes away, and that Atakan buff is now gone.
Caps!
But yeah, Caps is just autoing Oscar Redden. FNATIC are breaking apart.
I mean, Caps just, can I even say it was an outplay? He just stood there. He stood his ground and he fought back against Oscar.
Oscar had flash. Humanoid had flash.
Yep. They did.
Are we just not expecting it? Are we just saving it for next game?
I mean, I guess they felt that in the presence of Caps, it wasn't worth it. I don't know. But, 6K gold lead now.
Good rocket to stop it. Razork actually might find something here as well.
Surely this time.
Surely this is the moment, right? Caps dies here, right, guys?
They want to give the kill to Upset.
They really do want to give some gold back to their carry. Do not let Caps auto him down. Oh, that would have been a disaster.
But hang on, they have the Hex Gates.
Oh,
They're
no. Oh,
to come
no.
through. Lebrov, if he can stop it, Razork is going to be spotted out, and the backs do indeed come through.
Just about. That could have been it. You end up taking those picks on top side, suddenly you're cracking open the base, and there's just no coming back in this game for FNATIC. It is still an uphill battle, especially as you look towards like objective control, apart from Voidgrubs, is just G2 favorite, right? And now you got the next Dragon up in a minute 40. You've got Baron that they can try and go for off the back of this, and no one can really contest Caps. Like, he's nearly got a Rabadon's death cap complete at this stage.
They're singing John Denver. Where's Virginia? Mountain Mama. Take me home. Is that FNATIC or G2 Dagda?
FNATIC.
Sing them home. Well done. Well done, because at this point, it's a 5K gold lead. And FNATIC, I mean, I'd be singing Rocky Mountain High if you want them to go through. It is a Mountain Soul, this game. No, it's not Hextech Soul. They've got Mountain. So invigorate that and do something with it, because right now they need a pick. They need scaling. Where do you want to send this? Because, I mean, I feel like Caps is 2,000 gold ahead.
He's sending it into Hearts.
He has to, but he's done this before. Mickey X, or with a couple of Ds at the end. Humanoid now goes in. Spirit Rush opens up an opportunity. Oscar is getting battered by Broken Blade a bit. Humanoid turns his pace in for the Dread. Flash Charm and a public execution. Nice from FNATIC. They get the Wolf down, but Mickey's getting chased out. Where is he? Well, G2 are in a numbers mismatch. Caps is teleported in. A Suppression and Impale. A Rocket Skewmon is still available. Lebrov's running out, trying to help out his jungler while zoned out with a Glitter Lance. He cleanses away, uses the bell so he doesn't get charmed. Caps won't join in. FNATIC have won that fight, if only by a large portion.
And Mickey gets out too. He went into G2's base to use the Hex Gate to then get back out again. Somehow FNATIC find themselves a pick. Skewmon barely gets away from the fight. FNATIC, they haven't been able to close the gold gap. Dragon is spawning in about 5 seconds, and Broken Blade, he's respawning.
And that's the thing, how much does it actually matter? Like, you burnt flashes on Humanoid, you burnt the ultimate on Humanoid looking to be back up, but still, G2 are first to the objective. You are now on the reset, so you got the pick, but you don't get the thing afterwards, which is more important.
I guess the good news is that they alleviate some of the pressure. They've been able to clear out a lot of the vision that was sitting in their half of the map. G2 now, after securing that objective, put themselves on Soul Point, but also need to start working towards getting that mid control and converting it into river control. Baron is alive, Baron is a threat, and G2 still have to respect the possibility of FNATIC stealing that one away.
And vice versa as well. If FNATIC don't play their cards right, G2 will burn this down with a 3-item Sivir, 3-item Azir as well.
I do love how you can tell that G2 have played against Mickey, because every bush is a menace. Every time they walk towards us, I was like, no, I'm going to take the long way around here. But I don't know if FNATIC have it in them to bring it back. You've got 3 items at least now onto Upset. Like, one foot kill could do something, but as Veddy is pointing at, like, I think this Azir is just too big. Rabadon's death cap is now completed. There's no one really to threaten him, and we've seen continuously how often he gets on towards Upset and just rinses his health bar. I think it's so difficult for FNATIC to play this unless they get caps.
You're hoping for the best. All right. Lebrov as well, a big piece as Arden Center alongside Han Summer. The Enchanter at this point in the game going to add a lot as Caps just solos out 4 people in mid. He can do that right now. Remembering that Arden also buffs him up, and Sivir Wave Clear is disgusting at this point in the game. FNATIC try and edge out towards this Baron that's spawned there waiting, but G2 are just running it down mid. They're looking to threaten further.
But this area is so dangerous for FNATIC because of Skumon's ultimate. He's constantly playing at an angle where he can play across the team.
Public execution for On the Hunt. That's the trade. Great spell chip from Hansama. The charm onto Caps. The Sun Turret dropping down as Upset takes a bit of damage from it. He gets himself a bit of excitement too. The traps are early. The charm will walk Skumon into it. Zap is there. Playing front to back with the Nature's Grasp is great. And Hansama firing away. Caps ends their day. You thought this would go to 3. Put it away. G2. Just when you doubt them, they come back in and show you who's the king of the league.
Caps and Hans just do too much damage. FNATIC falls in front of their base, and G2, they're looking to get a 2-0.
A 2-0 that at the start of this game looked like would go a little bit longer than that, but Caps is king, Caps is key, and G2, we got baited at the start of this split, but not in playoffs, as Diving the Fountain brings you to this 2-0 where G2 remain in charge.